Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Axel James Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta to dede. Luta mo nulo jel mo to nga andil mahalis. Hello?
Busel mo fine.
What?
Busel mo fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axel Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills, and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave, Busel mo fine. Wave, your money is yours.
On Tuesday, the 11th of November 2025, you're with Coffee Time on West Coast Radio. I am Peter Gomez. As the Gambia charts its course towards a knowledge-driven future, questions around research funding, student support, and institutional accountability are more urgent than ever. Today, I am joined by the man at the center of these national conversations, Professor Pierre Gomez, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science, and Technology. And for the next hour or so, we'll unpack the policies, promises, and pressing challenges shaping the future of higher education in the Gambia. Professor Gomez, good to have you back on Coffee Time with Peter Gomez this morning.
Thank you very much, Uncle Peter, and thank you for having me. Good to be back in this nice studio.
Fantastic. Yes, everyone talks about the studio. Well, we hope that government will start supporting initiatives. I'm going to be looking at the National Research and Innovation Fund, the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, and the Student Revolving Loan Scheme. And if we may start with the NRIF, as it's abbreviated. What is the current status of it, and how much has been allocated so far?
Well, thank you very much, Will Peter. Good morning to all your listeners, and both in the Gambia and abroad. As you know, over 3 years ago, when we took over, we developed a document called the Sustainable Financing of Higher Education. We did that with the support of many Gambians here and in diaspora, especially Dr. Ibrahim Assise from Birmingham University. He's among because we set up what we call the Higher Education Advisory Committee. As you know, Dr. Ibrahim is a researcher all the way in Birmingham, but a true Gambianist scholar, always ready to give back to Mother Gambia. And Dr. Tijan Sall, former manager at the World Bank, and others, Professor Fall of London School of Economics, and the list goes on of people that we consulted. Because we're coming from academia, therefore we thought that whatever we do must be tested. And to do that, you need to get the right people to share your documents with them, so that they can now review and critique. And as you know, these people, they will tell you the way it is. So they will not give you that.
They will not sugarcoat it.
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. So, and that's the opportunity that we had, and we made good use of their talents, the academics out there, researchers and professionals, and also here in the Gambia. So whenever we develop something, we share it with them so that for their advice to fine-tune. And it's in that document over 3 years ago that we signpost the transformation agenda of the higher education ecosystem. And one has to do with coming up with the National Research and Innovation Fund. So that is getting a basket where we'll have funds to support our TVET and also universities to be able to do research and innovation. Uncle Peter, a country that does not innovate, a country that does not create is a dead country. There's no developed country that is not investing on innovation, on creativity.
And it's about that investment. What is the status of the NRIF, and how much has been allocated so far?
Yes, so far is 35 million that is there. Is far below our expectation and projections. But this is what yesterday we were at the National Assembly. We had the opportunity to inform the parliamentarians that it's a call, because we all came together to develop these instruments, and if they are not properly funded, it will be it will be difficult for us to achieve the objectives. Yes, later on they will sit down and invoke Plan B. As academics, we cannot just sit down and wait for government to really give us everything. We'll have to really think outside the box, write proposals, get funding from development partners and other international organizations. We will do that. But for the at the beginning, there's need to have a startup, to have something to rely upon, to put systems in place, structures, and also roll out the fund.
Okay, and the funds that are currently available, how will they be accessed by researchers and institutions? In other words, what are the eligibility criteria?
Well, by the way, we have Dr.
We'll come to the personnel later on.
Yes, so they will
just trying to understand all these different funds.
They will develop the criteria, because it's going to be competitive, because all these funds will not be like the usual subvention that every month government will give it to you, whether you perform, you don't perform, it is given to you. No. All this is performance-based.
Disbursement of funds will not be automatic.
No, it's not automatic. It's competitive. You apply. There will be a criteria. There will be a core for proposal. Then now you submit your proposal, and it will be subject to scrutiny by a team of experts. So if you send a good proposal, you tend to have a chance. But if you send a bad proposal, even when you have the money, it will be kept.
So you'll have to justify every butut request.
Yes, and then it will be a team later to do a follow-up to ensure that the money that is given to you, it is judiciously used for that purpose. So a clear criteria will be developed, and people will have to compete for that. A team of experts will be constituted to review all this, and they will pass judgment outside the ministry. The ministry will not be the one handling it.
And what mechanisms are in place, apart from this, thorough scrutiny of proposals, to ensure transparency and merit-based funding decisions?
Yeah, already it has to do with the way it is structured. One is you will have the management, and then they are all outside the ministry. Then also you have the governance here. They have a board, and all the chairs are also outside the ministry, and a good number of them from the private sector. And then also you have some ex-officio members from other ministries like finance, higher education, and others. So, but the ultimate objective is to ensure that they operate based on a transparent system, and that before the disbursement, everybody would have known the rules of the game. It would have been very clear, not the Liverpool way, but the Arsenal way. Very clear. So, so that they will now apply that rule. And, they will be submitting also their reports to the National Assembly. All these funds will also annually be going to the National Assembly, submitting their reports and respond to the questions of the National Assembly to see, ensure that what was given to them, it was utilized for that purpose.
And how will the National Innovation, or rather Research and Innovation Fund, aim to stimulate innovation in priority sectors like agriculture, health, and even technology?
In fact, the areas, the major key areas were really identified in
And
the
these are
document.
what?
Yeah, agriculture, health, and so on. So these are major areas that environment, clearly highlighted in the document that as a key priority areas that needs to be supported. And obviously also we will not just stop at that. Even the creative industry will be supported. In essence, we want to have a vibrant, youthful population that is allowed to really express themselves. Their talents are not stifled, so they have the opportunity to create something, and then for them to be supported. But then it must be something serious. So that's the call, and ensure that we support all the good initiatives out there based on the limited funds available.
And will there be partnerships with international research bodies or universities to leverage the fund's impact?
Exactly. Part of it, yes, in addition to government's intervention, there's a wide window that is there for us, in fact, not only for the research, but for all of them to really engage research bodies and also international organizations, development partners, also to chip in, to work with them, to complement whatever government is doing. That's how it is done elsewhere, and that's the model that we want to do. And in fact, the management will be judged also based on their capabilities to go for resource mobilization and introduce new norms in the process, not to just depend on what we would have put on the table. This is just the foundation, but then you need to build on.
And how will the ministry measure the success or outcomes of projects funded by the NRIF?
Yeah, there will be KPIs clearly highlighted. So the key performance indicators based on the amount given, resources available, and also the number of projects, proposals supported, and their realization for people to see. People must see the evidence of that every year, because they will have to submit their annual reports to the ministry for onward transmission to the National Assembly, and they will have to go to the National Assembly to explain themselves. But before that, and through their boards, we will have to see that at the end of the day, there are results based on their key mandate. The ultimate objective is to support research and innovation. Where are the researches that were supported? Where are the innovations that were supported? And supporting them, yes, you have financially, but also help them also in the infrastructure of that research and also innovation. What are the systems that they have put in place? Because remember, all of them, they're starting from scratch. In the Banjul to Koina, I told them, you are not lucky. You don't have to look left or right to say, okay, let me learn from this. It did not happen. Since 1965, we missed that opportunity. But then, better late than never. 6 years after independence, we need together now put something on the table, and to put it, they must. This is the expectations of the Gambian people. Then you need to continue.
And what role do you envision for young researchers and postgraduate students in this initiative?
Well, for this is now a golden opportunity for them to sit down and do their homework. Now it's no longer the case where I want to do my research, but I don't have funding. If you want to do research, serious research, sit down and write proposals. That's how it operates in the Western world. Nobody will give you money for free. You must sit down and do your homework first. So nobody will have that opportunity now to say, I wanted to do my research, but nobody is supporting me. There is research funds available for also innovation, but it is competitive. Come forward. If you don't have the skill sets, try to acquire the skill sets. Try to team up with others who have something to say so that you learn. Even if you are not selected, but the fact that you've made efforts to improve your skills, that's a plus for this fund. Because yes, we will not be able to give support everybody. But the fact that through this fund, it has stimulated that positive energy for researchers left, right, and center to sit down and do their homework, to even understand the research culture. Because that's also is very important. To understand the research principles and be able to now, acquire the skill sets to come up with some proposals, how to write proposals also, polish their writing skills, and so on and so forth, how to respond to a call, a research proposal. These are all skill sets that are needed. So even if at the end of the day they are not given, but they would have made some effort to do that, then would have achieved our objectives. So the objectives would be, one, to support some people, but even those that we haven't supported. But because this is serving as a stimulus, then would have also helped them and helped the research family. And this is what we are looking for. A country where people are busy. In other words, it's a system, a tool to engage the researchers, to engage the youths, to engage the higher education fraternity, people to be busy. Because the danger that will happen to a country is to have a country where researchers and youths, everybody is in a very stagnant situation. That will not stimulate productivity. And unfortunately, that's what is happening in some corners of the world, in Africa especially. And we want the Gambia now to emerge from that and be able to change the narratives.
Earlier, you wanted to talk about the leadership of the fund. I'll give you that opportunity now. How was the overall coordinator selected, and what's the leadership structure for the NRIF?
Yeah, thank you very much. We have the management and also the board. So the management for now is led by Dr. Jojo Ndur Tambedo. He was working for a private company, so until recently. So we had to.
They are our partners. So
yes.
You can name them.
Yes. So
they provide internet service. For
so
us.
that's Insys Global.
Exactly.
So he was there as the CEO, and we had to take.
Was she headhunted?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was it. For the CEOs, that's what they were.
It's not like you don't invite applications.
No.
People,
no. But the rest, the rest will be subject
just
to.
For the CEO,
you
can go out and say, well,
yes.
I've decided on Martin Younger,
yes.
and
yes.
make Martin Younger.
Exactly. Yeah. So the CEOs.
Why did you go for her?
Well, we're looking for, but based on her experience, she worked in higher education in general as a scientist, and also she worked with MOHAS in the past to develop some systems. And she was also very keen in whenever we have some activities also to take part and contribute. And we've been observing of the quality of her interventions. So, and since we want to be surrounded with excellence, we thought that it will be good to have her, and she's among those that we recommended to His Excellency President Barrow, and we're happy to report that the President appointed her as the new CEO of the TED Fund, Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund.
Okay, I thought we were just closing the chapter on the research and
the
research and innovation fund.
The research and innovation was Professor Mudusala from De Montfort University, Leicester, in the UK. Now working for a rice project, the World Bank Rice Project under the Ministry of Finance. So he's the one heading the research and innovation, and then the chairman was is Professor Ibrahim Assal of Codesria in Dakar. She was the former executive secretary of Codesria, which is the leading Pan-Africanist social science research in Africa. and he's now leading Trust Africa. So throughout his career, he's been in research in Uppsala, in Sweden, and other places. So he's the one as the chairman. So for Dr. Jojo Ndur is the one.
Let's just finish the. Yeah. So that's you said there's a board, there's a management,
yes.
And So is that the management you just gave us or the board?
Yeah. So I gave you the head of the management. And that is Professor Mamadou Salla.
And then the chair of the board.
And the chair of the board is Professor Ibrahim Assal of Trust Africa, formerly of Codesria. So, but now what is going to happen in the coming weeks, there will be an advertisement for certain positions. Okay. So for all of them, so for people, Gambians here in the Gambia and abroad to apply. And then the board, their new board will be the one now to appoint them, not the ministry. So this is how it happened. But the new management is working on the TOR, and then together with their board, they will do that. By the way, we will be inaugurating tomorrow all these boards at the ministry at 10 o'clock. I hope you will send.
No. Boubacar has already demanded that he be sent to.
Just tell him, are you from the West Coast or the East Coast?
He tells me that all the time.